to December. And tomorrow, even the COVID still hit crazy in Hanoi, but we still organize the opening ceremony chaired by Prime Minister and of course Minister in Hanoi. And then the next day we organize the closing conference. So 14 and 15 we finish TechFed. And then January, before the Tết holiday, Vietnam Tết holiday, we start the road show of the conference and connect and investment for ecosystem of Vietnam. And I hope not only this conference, but after work we can collaborate, we can learn from each other, and we can connect the right people, right network, and to helping innovation ecosystem of Vietnam around the world. And because Vietnam, we still not really developed, but we're a quick learner and we're hungry, to learn, and we want to learn from many other countries. So we believe, we can grow, athlete from our internal powder with external, inspiration. So conference is one thing to connect the other.
Right.
And this is my honor to see all of you today, like the one only female entrepreneur in this panel and the whole thing. So I'm the queen tonight. So, and I would love to learn more from you guys a lot.
Selena, I was going to say it's also our honor. Vietnam is very much underrated in the blockchain scene. The world needs to step up and take Vietnam more seriously because there's a lot of amazing projects that's underway.
Exactly.
And I think if US and Canada, where I'm from, if we don't catch up soon, we're going to be left in the dust.
Exactly. Many things, example, when we start about deep tech, it's very new thing in Vietnam, but we have started, even it's so difficult. It takes so much time. Or building a biotech project or startup, it costs so much money and patience and compassion, and the responsibility. It's not only project, solution and services, but it's many things around, it's about human to human. So if we don't have the patience, we don't have compassion and love and passion and the other thing, and then don't looking for the other future of success or solution for the country or the market. So the game is not for everyone, right? For the people who really focus. So right now 7 p.m. Thank you so much to join us in TechFed Vietnam 2021 Special International Village. So this will be live stream on National TechFed fan page. So everyone will be very bright to see the whole ecosystem of Vietnam. Afterward, I think many people are gonna contact with you guys to learn to add. If you guys are busy, a lot of startups gonna contact with you. If you are expert, maybe they're looking for some support, advising, mentoring, and many things otherwise. So my name is Selena. I'm a head of International Village, also a moderator and host of today. We're so happy to have you guys on here to join us and on the partner who helping us to build this successful program. And it only started for the upcoming roadmap of the innovation ecosystem, and our village are part of building this road to coming up, even a lot of challenge, difficulty, but we always try to be the better than yesterday. So right now, I would like to introduce more about International Village. So why the name is International Village, but not about like EdTech or YadaTech? So we have about 70 village in TechFed, the main section of the whole national conference and exhibition held by Ministry of Tech and Science of Vietnam. It happened from September and December, but mainly happened in November to December. And without COVID, like last year and the other year, we do the roadshow around US, Singapore, Korea, and the other countries, not only in Vietnam. And we come back with International Village. We would like to connect innovation ecosystem around the world to Vietnam and bring innovation ecosystem from Vietnam to the world. We would like to bring more VC, PE, venture capital, and private equity to Vietnam to help to invest in our potential and wonderful project. As you guys know, 95% fail, but like something like sharing car, only Uber in Europe and American, and in Asia we only have Grab, right? So we're expecting, some game, only some people on the top of the mountain. We cannot have 10 guys in the top of the mountain. So that happens. So we expect that. And International Village not only bringing us purpose, but we would like to improving the policy. So we bring diplomat, we bring policy maker, we bring government from Nordic, from North American, from Europe, from Asians, Korean, from Singapore, Malaysia, and the other countries to exchange, to helping to adapt program how Korean government make the policy to invest in Vietnam and the other country. It's not only VC, Earth and startup, but it's from the top of the leader. If they want to, like focus on metaverse or deep tech or biotech education, they have policy to focus on that, right? So International Village, we bring diplomat and policy maker on the table to make change, and they have to listen to us who doing business. So that is our purpose. And why international? Because not only we take care of the local or only Asian market, but we want to bring solution from Vietnam to mainland, to Middle Earth, to North Africa, to Europe, to North American, to everywhere, because we believe the quality and product and service of Vietnam will be improving. Example, if you guys know, one edtech education tech startup from Silicon Valley, Concorded, they have global market after a few years. Or based from Vietnam, they have Asian market on 3-4 years, and they about 300-400 million valuation after only a few years. So it happened when we believe and we working hard on that. So I wanna, talk that and would like to hear more about everyone here. Right now, we want to come. The keynote come from Korean. He also advisor and co-head of International Village, Mr. Lee Song Ho from Seoul Startup Accelerator in Vietnam, and he would like to share the perspective, the panorama from Korean innovation ecosystem, how to build a program, how to build a global startup, and how it's impact and benefit to Vietnam startup. And Mr. Lee, please join and share with everyone your perspective and your vision. Yes.
Now, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I will share my screen. Okay.
Can you put us
full screen?
Yes, please. Thanks.
Sorry, cannot.
Did it open, open discussion, open talk, so we feel free, and, comfortable, so.
Okay, it's enough for me. Okay, let's start. Okay. Hello,
yes,
my name is Mr. Lee, Accelerator Vietnam Center of Seoul Startup in Korea. Today, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Today, I would like to introduce the startup ecosystem of Seoul City, Seoul Metropolitan City, Korea. The Seoul Startup Hub is the core division, core part of Seoul, Korea. And we are running joint venture investment program with Vietnam government and Vietnam startup from 3 years ago. Okay, let's start by looking at the screen together. I have just 10 minutes, right, Selena?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Seoul, okay, overview. Seoul is population is around 10 million people, and area is 600 square kilometers, and per capita GRDP of Seoul is 45,000 US dollar. Okay, demography. Seoul has attracted young people for more than 600 years due to the high rent, young capital. Young couple tend to move to satellite city around Seoul every day, but they commuting from to Seoul every day. Almost everybody consists of the consumer in Seoul. Number 3, startup business statistics. Number of early businesses in Seoul, 262,000. Number of tech-based business, 53,000. Number 3, startup ventures. The venture certification for technologically intensive companies is often used as a proxy for startup. Number of ventures, around 10,000. 25% of Korea in Seoul, okay? Ventures by industry. Number 1 is manufacturing, 65%. Software, wholesale, retail, R&D service. Number 4 is investment, venture capitals. In the year of 2018 and 2019 witnessed the big year in investment by about $1 billion US. Despite the impact of COVID-19, venture capital invested show a slight increase in 1 year ago. Number 4, invest venture capital in 2020. South Korean venture capital invested in similar trend as 2 years ago. The top 10 ventures capital invested the largest amount in ICT service in last year. And we have accelerator and the angels. 160 accelerator are located in Seoul, and angel investment is steadily increasing. As you know, Spark Lab, any kind of. Okay, number 6, technologies. South Korea is one of the countries with the most advanced IT infrastructure. It resulted from R&D effort from university and industry, largely funded by the government. Example, total R&D expenditure is 89 billion US dollar, number 5 in the world. The 7, talent. Seoul is populated with a university. More than 5% of the population are college students, and nearly 78% of high school students go to university and college. More than every year, 4,000 PhD doctor in engineering and natural science are coming out yearly in South Korea. Okay, we hope, so we are calling Seoul as a startup city. Seoul is a startup city, is our dream. Seoul was a frontier in startup policy. More than 80% of Korean venture capitals are located in Seoul. So Seoul metropolitan government reinforced its orientation of economic policy towards startups. Seoul metropolitan government declared Seoul will be the global top 5 startup city next year. Is our purpose, is our goal. Okay, number 8, Seoul a startup. We have seven initiatives for a startup city. Number one is global pipeline for talent. Total support for expect entrepreneur. Number 2 is tech space 1000. Build new space for 1000 startup focusing on biotech, AI, VR, AR, and advanced manufacturing. Okay, number 3 is strategy investment for growth. Number 4, private-led accelerating platform. So startup platform, public platform to connect the startup to investor and public agency domestically and internationally. Number 5, accelerated production 180. If someone want to make their new product, just need 6 months from an idea to mass production. Number 6, Seoul is test bed. 500 innovative products tested in Seoul 2 years later. Number 7 is global reach. Number 9, Seoul startup ecosystem. Seoul metropolitan government operated 46 startup support center in Seoul. Seoul startup ecosystem. Look at the screen, please. Okay, Seoul Future Growth Fund. The fund will invest in 2,000 startups in emerging fields such as biotech, contains the post-industrial revolution related industry and comeback startups. Okay, so startup ecosystem, global collaboration. So startup has been a real hub, entrepreneur on the policymaker from across the world. The hub is former partnership with 50 global partners, including Vietnam. Okay, so startup has contract ROI with the Ministry of Science Technology Vietnam 3 years ago for cooperation and joint venture with Korean and Vietnam startup. And we have invitation program every year to Seoul, try everything. Next spring, we want to that. April, more than 25%. We are looking forward to find good Vietnam startup and to make global startup. Okay, thank you for your listening. I'm very happy to speak today. We hope that good cooperation with the Seoul, Korea, and Vietnam about startup ecosystem. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lee.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
an amazing number. I think after this, many people are gonna ask, like Korean, they set up 20-year plan 20 years ago. They plan to grow in biotech, and now you can see the number of unicorns of from Korean, and not only they are Koreans, right? But they bringing the other two Korean to build biotech, especially they come to Vietnam.
Biotech.
And you know, like in terms of biotech, there are drug and there are cosmetic. You know, so you want to grow your hair or your skin, you eat it, you drink it. It's not
functional cosmetic.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I think Korea did one step to learn how to be patient, you know. Make a target 10 years, 20 years, not 1 year to looking for quick money. So right now I see there are a number of speakers coming. So I would like to invite every speaker to introduce themselves and their organization in short, and then we come to the next keynote from Mr. Chris Dichon. So please invite Mr. Steve Becerra to introduce himself, and then the next will Mr. Nam Vũ from the monitor next. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, first off, thank you for having me. I'm pleased to be here. And so my name is Steve Becerra. I am the CTO of Decentral Games. We develop metaverse games playable with cryptocurrency. We currently have various games and casinos deployed to Decentraland, one of the largest metaverses in the world. And we're currently one of the only companies in the world that offers play to earn games, which allow people throughout the world to generate income by simply coming to our casinos and our virtual worlds and playing our games for free. And yeah, so that's basically who we are and what we do.
Wonderful. So I think later I'm gonna have many questions for you, Mr. Steve. And now we invite Mr. Nam Vũ, CEO and founder of T Monitor, to share about himself and his organization. Thank you.
Yeah, hi guys. Hi guys, thanks for having me today. I am Nam, founder and CEO of T Monitor, an air quality monitoring system, a social impact AI IoT startup. And our T Monitor system includes open hardware and software to collect, monitor, and analyze the air quality, turning invisible into visible. And based on the AI data analytics, T Monitor provides appropriate emergency response just in time when any incident or crisis happen. And this is a recap of our startup. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nam Vũ. So, Jimmy, Jimmy, you're in Hanoi. So please share more about yourself. Thank you.
Hello. Fantastic, Selena. So hello, everyone. My name is Jimmy Chan, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Ollie Sport. So at face value, Ollie Sport is an NFT horse racing race to earn esport metaverse. But really, I like to compare this definition with an analogy of it being the tip of the iceberg versus the iceberg itself, right? And within our metaverse, what's below the water is something that is much more interesting to discuss. And truly, the deeper value that we have comes in two folds. The first, number one, is that we are creating an in-game crypto economy set to revolutionize, as well as to replace corrupt government-regulated economies, traditional banking, and also to unify our financial sector. And really, the purpose of this is that we want to create a scenario in a metaverse that enables everyone in any income class to participate in wealth creation. We very much want to democratize that potential. And the second value, the second deeper value here is that we are launching as the first metaverse to connect virtual land with real land. Again, so we're launching as the first metaverse to back virtual real estate you can buy in game with real land in real life. So really, by playing our game, our investors and our players can benefit from the increased value of global real estate as a limited resource. And at the same time, they can get in to these type of investments at a fraction of the price of buying real land. So that's our company in a nutshell. Thank you, Selena. Selena, I think you're muted.
Thank you, Jimmy. So tech trend is gonna be very big now. They estimate about 200 billion more next few years. So many runner gonna chasing this, right? So we introduce the next speaker to sharing a little bit themselves before we coming to the next keynote. Mr. Someone from UK, Philippos. Please
Hello.
share yourself and the organization. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for having me. Hi, I'm Filippo. I'm working for Alchemy Crew in the UK, and we specialize in the corporate venture activities of our partners, and we mainly work in, primarily work for insurers. So we look at potential startups in the insurance space, so mobility, travel, health, industry 4.0, etc. And our main goal is to help startups in successful partnership with our partners, and for our partners to understand if they need to invest, partner, or acquire startups, and how to do so. And this is what we do in the UK. And we have a connection in the UK, in New York, in Hartford, where there's a couple of accelerators that we work with. And yeah, thanks for having me today. I think you're on mute, Selena.
Thank you, Filippo. Chris, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. So please share yourself and the next other speaker, and then your keynote later. Thank you.
So now I go with my keynote, or
introduce our speaker.
You mean introduce about myself? I'm sorry.
Yes, please.
Sorry. So hi everyone. My name is Chris, and currently just got promoted to be the managing director of Vietnam Startup Investment Fund. But before the fund, I have been in the space of blockchain and crypto for about 6 years, doing a lot of project, and currently advising a number of GameFi and DeFi project. And then on the side, I'm currently working for Galaxy One, which is belong to Sovico Group, which is one of the biggest group here in Vietnam, who owns Vietjet. Like if you ever fly on Vietjet before. So very nice to meet all of you, and look forward to our panel 1 and panel 2. Of course, after keynote 1 and keynote 2 as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. We're gonna see you later more. And the next, there's something very interesting from one startup. There are many Vietnamese startup go global, and this one, Mr. Hải Ho, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I think many people looking forward to hear about your story from TripMe and the other multi-products. Please share yourself and your startup. Thank you.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Hai Ho. I'm co-founder and CEO of Trip. We are one of the few blockchain travel company that we're still surviving the COVID. And right now we're expanding to build our own educational GameFi for the travel industry. So looking forward to talk to everyone later, and let's hear more about us in the panel 2. Thank you.
Thank you. And we come to the next one. Whoever want to join the next? Mr. Kanjan from Openlive NFT. Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah,
By
please.
reading.
Thank you,
Thank
Selena.
you.
I'm reading to you, the head of International Village and all the founder and CEO of the startup. So this is the good chance for me, I'm Ken Chance, or I am the PR director of Openlive NFT. So that is on behalf of our POD, our founder team, and a really unique team. I'm here to to showing about our company. This is Openlive NFT Limited, and we mainly to do in the blockchain field in the marketplace. So that means all your products like GameFi, NFT, and even in Seoul Metaverse from Mr. Lee Sing-ho also can get in the marketplace. So we can trading. This is like the decentralized marketplace where they own the NFT can be like created,
Recording in progress.
and also can do the collections. So that is a good chance for all the users. We are mainly focused on the marketplace, and the Openlive NFT we found in just brand new is September 2021, and we are operating in the blockchain field based in London, UK. Thank you so much, and we will see you later on in.
Thank you. And now we have one startup who launching their product in international market from robotic. Can we hear your voice, Mr. Minh Do?
Yes.
Thank
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the conference. Please sharing with us about your organization and yourself.
Yep. Nice to meet you guys. I'm Minh Do, the founder and CEO of the ARA. We're making the service robots during the pandemic 2019. As you know, we have a lot of problem between the when the contacting between the waiters and the customer during they visit the restaurant. So we're making our service robot to limit the contacting between the customer and waiter to protect them and also to reduce some labor costs and to we use many advanced AI technology to detect the human, and we can make the robot to detect whether the human is wearing mask or not, for example. Yep. So nowadays we are looking for the partnership in Korea. That's why I'm right now I'm in Korea. So nice to meet you, Mr. Lee Sung-ho, and hopefully we can have a meeting later. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Minh Do. This is wonderful. So, Mr. Lee, you're gonna meet him soon, right? We come to say thank you, all of you guys introduced here. We still have the other two speakers. They are in the panel too, so they're gonna join us later. I would like to thank you for all the partner who support us to build this program, like Farm Central and Openlive NFT and Vietnam Startup Investment Fund and Lucky Ventures. Without you guys, we cannot build it. Also, team Monitor and Caris and of course government. So we thank you again, all partners, speaker, and all the team behind everything. We organize many programs together. And right now we come to the second keynote, and Mr. Chris Dijon, he's gonna share about investment trend in Vietnam and global. Please come to join and share your perspective and how it could happen in Vietnam. Please, Mr. Chris Dijon. Thank you.
Thank you, Selena. Thank you so much. Let me try to put on my slide real quick. All right. Everyone can see my slide nicely? All right. So what a time to be, right? In Vietnam or globally. I think a lot of the country are facing many challenges from the COVID pandemic itself. And from my understanding, working on, digital product as well as technology, the COVID pandemic actually opened up a lot of interesting, trends that, if you observe and if you looking at it, you probably can predict some of the new, playground for, these, investment firm as well as, technology company. So, for example, since last year, I think, let me see a show of hands. How many of you actually have worked your entire year 2021 from home, away from the office? I think most of us have been going through that a lot. So with that, right, I absolutely can see that one of the trends to support this, new development, because we don't have choice, right? We have to stay home and we have to work. So a lot of the innovations and a lot of the software development around this space, for example, the share price of Zoom has jumped significantly since the beginning of COVID-19, right? Then all of these, online education tool also pick up very nicely as well, especially here in Vietnam, where I think for the first time, a lot of the kids actually can start learning stuff, away from school. And many of them actually the first time that they encounter and experience, from learning from devices and everything, which is a good thing, which is a good thing. So once you have a population that, can enjoy the new experience of how they can learn, it's open up a lot of stuff in the future for our country as well. And another trends that I have observed, and again, any applications or software being built to support this trend has increased and improved significantly, which is the online shopping, because basically everyone got locked out during the pandemics. So it's everyone tried to sell and everyone tried to service their product online now. So you need to have an online presence, to be able to interact with your community or your user base, for example. Then I think, from on the opposite side of the negative perspective of COVID-19, I think it's really speed up and increase the awareness of a lot of the companies and enterprise about the digital transformation, which normally it takes them years to realize that what they should do in the beginning, and it took them quite a long time to realize that as well. But this COVID-19 actually, it's beefing up everyone to make sure that they get ready for the change and everything. And one of the trends that we have recognized very significantly and very viral, not only in Vietnam but all over the place, is the trend we call Metaverse, and or more like it's virtual economies, digital economies. There's a lot of terms that you can describe that. And from that angle, you can see a number of activities even at the government level as well. For example, in July this year, the Ministry of Economy from Japan, they're exploring how they can bring their economy into a virtual world, and this was before Facebook announcing that they're going to change their name into Meta, right? And then in September the same year, 2021, the State Council of China also issued a white paper, how to get their society and increase the wellness of the society by bring it into the virtual dimensions and everything. And lately, South Korea of our beloved Mr. Lee, recently they have a lot of investment, and as well they have a lot of investment into metaverse, like project, as well as the government itself also announcing a clear budget, like planning to develop and invest into the metaverse, direction, which is amazing things to do. And that's why I think in the near future, the Vietnam Startup Investment Fund, we're going to have a lot of things to do with the Korean government, which I will share a little bit later in panel 2 as well. Yeah. So in this slide, I go through a few some of the key development in terms of investment trends, as well as adopting into new trends, especially the trends of metaverse. So Facebook changing their name to Meta, which is that infinity loop, like logo you see right there. Microsoft also jumping into like building the new metaverse, like economy. Baidu, one of the biggest tech firm in China, acquired a VR company, which basically helping like your project to get on metaverse and connecting like a user with their digital virtual version of themselves. And Roblox, which is one of the exchange leading company in Japan, they also announcing that they're going into this direction as well. So, and my last slide is here. I mentioned a few of the project before in the previous slide, but I think without mentioning the names, I think I would like to emphasize that we are seeing a very strong push for metaverse development from the Vietnam side as well. For the past 3 or 4 months, I have seen a number of GameFi projects coming out of Vietnam and successfully raised fund quite nicely as well. So for me, it's all about seeing them be able to deliver some of the product that they are promising to the market and the community at the moment. So for our international friends joining the conference today, do look out for Vietnam. And myself, on behalf of Vietnam Startup Investment Fund, we are looking out for opportunity to collaboration, as well as bringing project from Vietnam to the global market as well, especially these metaverse project as well. So I think with that, I'm passing it back to you, Selena. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, and congratulations for the new position and new responsibility in Startup Vietnam Investment Firm funds. I think a lot of things to do with startup, right? And I think right now before we come to the panel 1, I would like to say again why we put it like Vietnam Startup Go Global. And here today we also have international startup. We missed 2 from France and 1 from Malaysia. They have urgent, so they cannot join us. So Nico and Tan Chun, he cannot join. Can you change slide to panel 1? And today's
recording stopped.
We have Nico, but he have urgent emerging stuff, so he cannot join. And we have Minh Do and Nam Vu, Mr. Hai Ho, Ken Chun, and Mr. Filippo. So there are 4 startups and 2 accelerator. Selena, myself, and Mr. Filippo, we are accelerator, and the rest are startup. And why we miss this and put us with an international startup go global? Why? So I have several questions for all of you here, special for startup. Firstly, we have the common question for all of you, and we have different questions for accelerator. Why and how a startup go global? What is the challenge and opportunities when one startup from very early stage, when you just start your ideas, not about your revenue stage, right? When you have idea and you want to show the global problem, It's not your neighbor problem or your village problem, that's global problem. So that mission and vision come from when you put your mind and your heart from one something that crazily no one believe that, no one trust you that you can build something, right? And now you can doing that. So we have Minh Do or Nam Vũ or Mr. Hải Hồ. Maybe from Mr. Hải Hồ, he have wonderful experience and project already, you know, even any project he go global. So I would like to hear from him what a difficulty and opportunity for you to put your startup to different market. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for your questions. I think in the past, when we first started TRIF, 2014, going global is something not really common for Vietnamese startup. But there is one thing I have learned along the past is in the past, when a Vietnamese startup, they want to conquer the global market, then they expand to the global market.
Recording in progress.
They almost have to rebuild their team because you have to have new staff who be able to speak English and understanding the culture and the people in the different country. It's different for a Singapore startup to expand to Malaysia, to Indonesia, and then the world, because their native language is English. But for a Vietnamese startup, if you start to build a team who start with speaking Vietnamese, it's harder to expand globally later. And that's why you can see in about like 2014, 2018, there's not many local startups from Vietnam that can go global. But now the game had completely changed because the number of people who can speak English very well, the number of international startups that coming to Vietnam and bringing international working standard coming to Vietnam. And also thanks to blockchains, it forced every startup, blockchain startup coming out from Vietnam has to build a global footprint from day one. So I think that when we talk about whether you go global or not going global, it's a question in the past. It's 2021. Everyone has to have a global plan from day one. You on mute.
Thank you, Mr. Hải Hồ. So yeah, I knowing firstly trip me from 2016, so already 5-6 years, and now it's growing big and bigger. And your story, I think, has inspired a lot of young startup here. But you know, get inspired is not enough. Like have to go to get it. So the next founder, I would like to hear from Mr. Minh Do. Many bring platform to the world, but he bring robotic to the world. So how it's happened, and what is the top difficulty, the challenge, and opportunities in the near future that you guys already get it and you guys gonna get it. Thank you. And please, Mr. Minh Do.
Actually, when we talk about the robotics, as you know, this is not only the problem in only local country like Vietnam. It's a trending, and it's a new. As my mission when we started, we think robot is like our new companions and new label. So we've been working with the robots, and we've been making the robots become as friendly as possible to with the human. And when I started my company in 2019, at the time I working in the quite long, maybe about 10 years in the robotic area in Korea. I studied there, and I am working for one company to make a robot. And then I realized there's a there's the future of the labor is have to be switched to the robots, because the many jobs I think it cannot do, or it's better to use the robots, for example, especially in the industries, like a factory or warehouse, where we see is a lot of repeat work, or a lot of the work that need a very strong power, for example, delivery, very heavy things. Then we think that the using the robot it has to be it has to be used the robot in the future. So when I started, we see in the Korea is very trending for robotics nowadays. So we came to Korea and we were looking for the partners in here, but actually it is not easy in Korea, because of maybe my networking or speaking Korean also is not my strength point. So I think if we have this kind of event, then we can connect more and more stuff with the venture, then we can we will have more opportunity to grow my my company. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mingdo. So from robotic is so we are WSAFE. We focus on something solid based, tech and science based. So when people are talking, why you focus on robotic, AI, AR, and VR and deep tech, like this, it takes so much time and even R&D. But that we are doing because something like, what are you expecting when the daily need is food, transportations, healthcare, education, that stuff that we all need it. So robotic to provide in the manufacturing, in the other industry is very important, and the base industries. So, and it's more difficult than some the other thing, right? Something like SaaS, of course, everything difficult, but different perspective. SaaS, IT, so different. And robotic is one thing we are really fascinating, and many people love that. But building that and running that business is not easy. So now we still have the same question with the other founder, because after this one, we come to the perspective of accelerator, and the other questions we want to listen to them. That's what they're expecting from the government. So we come to the other founder, Mr. Ken Chun from Openlive NFT, here PR director. So please, Mr. Ken Chun, could you like to share what is the top challenge and opportunity you're looking for to seeing up your NFT marketplace?
Yes, sure, Selena. Thank you, Selena. Actually, that's quite the main question to go to global for the topic today, especially for the startup in technology. So for Openlive NFT marketplace, the point of view is I really agree with the Chris Yui for the keynote, the pandemic. This is the main reason. Because the pandemic, the COVID coming, so the change totally changed the world. How the way that the work look like also. You see, it's not only in Vietnam, it's all around the world. Especially like, in the market. When you come, I believe that everybody must have been to go to abroad, right? And when you go to abroad, you have to come to visit the market, right? And now pandemic come, the market closed, the nation locked down. So what we can do? Go online. That's the solution. And when you go online as well, and now they're affecting also a lot. And we see that's why, like in his keynote, he also mentioned why we have the online, and then why we have the NFT. NFT is a non-fungible token. And then why we have the metaverse, like the Facebook become the meta, and the Baidu also Baidu metaverse. and also Greece Metaverse, and then also have Korea have Seoul Metaverse. Then why not? In Vietnam, we have Saigon Metaverse, right? And then Benton Market, we're going to become the main marketplace for all the GameFi project, NFT project, and even Metaverse project to launch it inside here. And then because here we have a lot of the startup, right? They have the GameFi, and Vietnam also a quite successful GameFi already, like, launching in the world, quite nice, for the community. Even NFT, so like Chris mentioned, but they're missing something. They're missing here in the marketplace. The main marketplace with the multi-chain, omni-chain can cross the chains together, and they need something like in the go to global trades for launching, for IGO, for INO, initial game offering and initial NFT offering. So they need what? They need the marketplace. In here, we founding, like, because NFT is just like the new startup, but our vision, we see like OpenSea. You see, OpenSea now is quite big now in the world. We are not like compare like this. It's not like really fair, but Openlive, we are seeing in Vietnam, in particular, and in Asia in general, they need the marketplace. Then that's why the idea of marketplace is pressure from our founder, and then we are decided that is the really potential, really potential, the role of the market. We use technology like the core, we use blockchain like the tool, and the marketplace will be the major push into the streamline. According to, we just want to become like the small distributor, the small distribution to the nation digital transformation. This is the word from our Prime Minister, and also from the Minister of the Information and Communication. This is my idol. That's why we are focused on this. And then we want Openlive gonna be OpenSea in Vietnam and also in Asia. And I hope to all the startup here, GameFi, as well as the robot, as well as the NFT, you just focus on your product. Focus 100% on your product. The marketplace, get Openlive, take care. Thank you. This is my point of view,
Thank you, Mr. Kanchan. Yeah, this is interesting. Like when we just first the conference, we talk about Metaverse and NFT, but people already building a marketplace for just tech trend. That is amazing how entrepreneurship can change and following very quickly. And this is something that we have to learn, right? Especially us from Vietnam. I think the next one will be something different a little bit from environment based on the hardware and software and big data. So what about you, Mr. Nam Vũ from Team Monitor, the mission and the vision to go global in terms of showing the problem of environment, especially for the health of the people, young people and the people cannot affordable very good life or well-being. So please share your challenge and the perspective of team unity when you want to bring your solution to the national markets.
Okay, thank you, Selena. And I'd like to talk about environmental issues, not just in Vietnam, but over the world. So the quality of air, soil, water, and waste treatment affects our people daily life. The young and the old, the rich and the poor are living under the same condition. In country with rapid economic growth in Vietnam, environmental pollution is one of the most alarming problems. In particular, Vietnam ranks among the country that dumps the largest amount of plastics waste into the ocean. This will affect different generations in the long run. So what we can do now is to train ourselves to be more conscious. If each person could be more mindful in daily life, even simple action could bring about a significant change to the environment. And from my point of view, impact investing has grown across the global with investors keen to back companies that will generate positive social and environmental impacts alongside financial return. In Vietnam, there are now a lot of impact startups like T-Monitor and scale up using technologies such as artificial intelligence, deep tech, big data, and blockchain to develop next generation solution to take on global problems such as climate change, health, and of course food insecurity. So I think for T-Monitor, we not only solve the air pollution problem of Vietnam, but it's the same group, the same problem for the global. And I think today there are a few factors that are hindering Vietnamese startups from becoming global businesses. And for example, I think there are three reasons. The first one is mindset. The mindset in Vietnam is usually not to start revolutionary ideas. It's more about looking overseas and just localizing it, and it's usually difficult to turn a copycat into a $billions global business, as the market itself is too small in Vietnam. And the second one is I think it is the ecosystem. And for all the good and the bad reasons, most of investors I've met has been asking me to set up a company in Singapore or in Hong Kong. So currently, the main reason is it's hard to get money from Vietnam due to some regulation in our country. And the last but not least, I think is internationalization. And expanding in another country means facing a set of challenges, for example, communication, culture, currencies, time zone, and that a startup alone is rarely well prepared to take on. But nowadays it's 2021, and we are going to 2022, and I think everything gonna change in Vietnam startup ecosystem with a lot of positive factor from government, from international VC or international PE, and I think it is the good chance to another startup to have a chance to not only to become a successful startup, not only in the Asia but also in the global market. Yeah, and it's some my thought about this one.
Thank you, Mr. Nam Vu from T-Monitor. So some people, they have a very good job, very high pay, and they completely come back to give back to community with environment project based on hardware and data. Big data is not easy. We are accelerator for sustainability, you cannot get money from that, but that is your mission. So you cannot run away from that. So now,
yeah, sure.
I come back with thank you, with Mr. Filippo and myself, because we are the middle guy between VC and startup, right? We're accelerator. I have a question for you. From London, you based from London, special in Europe. There's something different, not smart, but different between the startup from Europe and startup from Asia. So you are accelerator by in London, by in Europe, myself by in Asia, in Vietnam. So my question is, what are the top advantages for UK or European startup in general to take advantage to go global? What are their strengths? What make them to go global? That easy, special from UK. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a very good question. I think from the UK, the first is the advantage of the market and proximity to Europe. So it's very easy to set up offices in Europe. And then the second is the language, right? Because it's English-based business. And then the market, the opportunities that you have in the US and you know, other countries, South Africa, etc. But I think the advantage for startups in the UK when they grow and when they expand is really to scale the business across Europe, for example, where it might be slightly more difficult because the market is fragmented in Europe. There are different language barriers, different cultures in Europe. So from the UK perspective, you know, when a startup wants to scale, it generally looks at Europe or other let's say English speaker country, Australia, US, etc. So they are facilitated somehow. And then even from the investor point of view, in the UK there are a lot of investors, obviously, a lot of investor firms that they generally have connection globally, so they can help easily startups to scale internationally. So if they start their business with already in their mind and their plan to scale internationally, and they have the right investors on board, this could facilitate things and could actually help them expand globally. So yeah, I think these are the advantage in the UK. And also yeah, I think I would say the main advantage is even the proximity to Europe and all the different markets. So yeah.
Filippo, so yeah, that's something very special that we can learn. And I have another questions, and I think there's many people want to ask you. From, you know, your global ecosystem development, right? And you're looking for also yet a startup around the world to showing many problems. And I would like to ask from yourself, you're looking from global startup, it means a lot of from Asian, you expect them to join your program, and what are your expectations from Asians startup or from Vietnam in general to be able to join and to be able to grow in your market? It could be Asian market, it could be Europe or North American market, right? So can you share more? And
absolutely.
Learn, right? Yeah.
I think absolutely. I think the key things when a startup want to scale or you know, for example, access to another program internationally, is first to understand the customer of that specific country and for example, the different culture around sales. For example, in Europe, there are you know, Southern European countries are different from the North European countries when it comes actually to sell your product and how you market it. So before actually applying to any accelerators or international programs, you really need to start trying to understand and figure out the cultural aspect, which is critical for a business, and that will give you actually a good understanding if actually your company and your culture can fit within that specific culture. And another thing is really to understand if your company is solving a real problem or not, if there's a market, if the fit product market actually exists or not. And how you can do that is literally, you know, doing your research, checking online, connecting with people, maybe in the local market, ask questions, and just to see and receive the first impression from the local market. And other things that generally, you know, I'm looking or others are looking is obviously the understanding of the market and the constraint that it comes, regulation. For example, I work with Alchemy and we work a lot in insurance. And obviously, it's a very highly regulated space. So if you want, for example, to work in the insurance space or banking, you definitely need to understand a bit the constraint or the opportunities that come within that space. So I think it's crucial for startups when to want to scale, to understand the market, do their homework, and really trying to spot where the opportunities are and go after them. Hope that answer your question, Selena.
Yeah, that is something also very new to me as well, you know, and because even we building global program, but we cannot understand all the market, right? We cannot understand all Europe. Europe is too many, like specific UK, right? Germany is one country to understand the market also takes so much time and a lot of hard work on that. But global markets, it means you work night, you know, around the clock to understand more, you know, and you have to improve it. You have to change it. You have to learn from the mistake, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. So from myself, last 7 years, I joined innovation ecosystem to learn how people, entrepreneurship, learn they make new product, make new service, and why they're doing that, and how VC invest on this but not that. And we have to read thousand report, and I have to travel, but we have only 24 hours a day. So we have to find different ways to learn faster, quicker, and we have to use the product. Especially when I go to US, I have to go to the supermarket, you know, to try the organic stuff, to understand agriculture. So you have to live with it. It's not only reading the market research. You have to live with that. You have to live inside of that if you want to build something. And
yeah,
even
absolutely, you need to listen your customer for sure.
Yeah, you have to live with them. You have to marry them. That's if you want to build something really strong. So I come to another question for the founder, for the startup. What are you expect? What do you expect from local government, especially if you're in Vietnam? What do you expect from them to help you, to connect you with the other partner that can benefit to your business, can make your business grow, and can have many other way, you know? So because we are from government, connect with government to organize this, so we want to learn to hear your voice, not only talking, but we want to hear. That's what are you expect? Or do you expect something from government to connect? Maybe it's not money, you know, maybe they cannot have on about cash, but connect from the other government and the policy and the other thing. So please, so maybe Nam Vũ, you want to share something, you know, like why government have to doing that and this, you know, to have more entrepreneur. Thank you.
So I think from my point of view, Vietnam government should ensure more regulation to create the sandbox environment for the startup. So we are the innovation startup with the new technology, and we cannot live, we cannot run our business with the same old regulation like 10 or 20 years ago. So I think regulator setup is the first one in my mind. I hope that the government should have more progress onto this, so we can deploy, we can use our latest technologies without the barrier from the government. Yeah. So I think you are muted now.
Oh, I guess sorry. So I think from your industries and your experience, that's something you expect from government, and did we live stream on a government base? I think they're gonna learn, and we're gonna do some report, so at least they have to listen first, and then they're gonna change step by step, right? And still our main job to put them and put us and the customer, right, in the right place, right? So I think maybe now Mr. Mingdo, we could love to hear from you that even now you're already launching product in the other markets, but there's something you expect from government of Vietnam, right? To do something to help you, to collaborate with you, you know, or to connect with the other partner. And could you share some your opinion and perspective?
Yep.
Thank you.
I totally agree with Mr. Nam from TF Monitor that the government, if the government have regulation for our field regarding to the AR, VR, and our robotics area, then it will be better. It will be easy for us to still, you know, the robotics is global, but if we're starting from the local and we have more customer to because we are Vietnam-based, so if we have a more local customer, then you know, it will be easy for us to, you know, to expand the business and to really contribute to the Vietnam's industrial area. And I learned the many lessons from the Korean government. They nowadays for the robotics and blockchain, for example, they have many policy to support the company that they want to apply that field. For example, in the Hyundai, as you know, Hyundai is one of the biggest auto manufacturer in the world, and nowadays they bring a lot of robotics to their factories. And you may know last year the Hyundai already bought the Boston Dynamics, one of the biggest startup robotics in the world from the MIT. So you can see the government have a lot of bring a lot of benefits if the corporation or company using the new technology apply technology to their business, and then they also have a lot of the benefits back to their business. So we love to if the government have more good policy to our area, then it can be better.
So that's from your perspective, and I think Mr. Hai Ho would like to share and how he can do a lot of things, you know, in a very good way. So I think he has something to share right now.
Hello.
Thank you.
I think right now I can share from a perspective of the Pacific Asia Travel Associations, where I'm currently the vice chairman. So the Pacific Asia Travel Association is more like a connector that bringing international traveler going to different local market by organizing a lot of events. So every year, PATA organize 4 different events to promote local destination to global audience. And I think this is something TechFest is doing really, really good. And this is some things the Vietnam government has done really well in the recent years. This year and actually last year, Vietnamese company have raised like record amount of monies. Our blockchain companies have become like well recognized by global audience. So whatever the government has doing, they have done right. Because if not, we don't have this result today. So basically, just do more of what the government has done and keep the momentum. And I think if possible, let's do 2 tech fests a year instead of 1.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I think it's not all founder can do so much amazing result like you. So I think later after this conference, they still invite you to share more and share more, and you get involved so much things special like Hoi An, right? A lot of things from government there about sustainability tourism, right? And I think we have about 200 questions from live stream. Can you believe that in the live stream? And some of our organizer team sharing on our chat board. There's many. So I would like to take about 5 or 10 minutes. Some specific speaker. One from Mr. Nam Vu. They asking about your blockchain. I think you mentioned about blockchain. So one audience, she asking about blockchain. This one. From Mr. Thủy Ngân, from TechFest live stream page, government page. What are the advantages for early blockchain adapter, specific for speaker Mr. Nam Vu?
So I don't think I mentioned any blockchain on my talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you want to share a little bit, or you want to part to the other speaker? Maybe the big speaker who already in this blockchain here can answer for this Q&A a little bit before we come to the panel P, panel 2. What are the advantages for early blockchain adopter? I put in the everyone box. So this is from Mr. Thủy Ngân. From live stream, we have more than 200 questions now, because maybe the blockchain and the other tech, fascinating. So people ask a lot. So who can ask this, please? Feel free to answer.
I can do it quick.
Please, thank you.
Just imagine yourself in the United States in the early 1800s, where the gold rush happenings. Everybody want to go to the West to discover gold. Exactly what happening. So blockchains is a gold mine, and the early adopter will be the first one to arrive and be able to mine the gold for yourself. And obviously, because you're an early adopter, it's the same. Some of the first people that make the trip to Oregon to find the gold. Many people die along the way. So you have to sacrifice a lot to become an early adopter. But again, the reward worth on the hard work that you are putting into. And my suggestion is you have to approach blockchain from a technology standpoint. There is a great movie on banking on Bitcoin. It's available on YouTube for free. Start with the foundations of the blockchain technology, and that is a beautiful movie for you to start with. From there, just keep digging on the technology side of blockchains. Then you will find a lot of reward just by watching all of this documented, like official documentations.
Thank you, Mr. Hải Hồ. Quite very simple and easy to understand. How about early blockchain adopter to learn from this? So we have more than 200 questions now. So I come to the second questions. We're gonna just feel some very interesting one. So the question come direct to Mr. Filippo. I sent you the inbox. Can Vietnam? Did you receive the question?
Yes. I mean,
thank you.
So
there are many questions.
I think yes. Not only Vietnam, every country. I mean, technology is not just limited geographically. It's more about the entrepreneurship and how entrepreneurs and how companies can grow and build products sustainable for the future using the right technology. So I think the key always is to find the right problem and then find the right way to solve the problem with technology. So absolutely, yes, Vietnam can catch up for sure, like Vietnam, other countries. So this is my view.
Thank you, Filippo. I think she very satisfied about your answer, and she's gonna find out more. We have many, but time limited, so we gonna jump to the panel 2. And I think in terms of blockchain metaverse, there are more than, right now we have more than 300 questions. I don't know where there's so many questions, and I think also very difficult to answer all of them, right? So after work, maybe we're gonna send a contact in someone assistant so they can learn from them. So Chris, are you there? Are you ready for the
Yep, I'm here.
for the panel 2? So this is your job now. I can get a few minutes, right? So welcome to my co-host, Mr. Chris Dijon, here, Manager Director of Vietnam Startup Investment Fund. He's gonna be a co-host and a moderator from the panel 2. And welcome. Thank you and enjoy.
Thank you, Selena. And I think a lot of my international speaker have been waiting after listening to a quite interesting panel 1. So I would like to invite Jimmy, Steve, as well as Robbie to join panel 2. Finally, you guys are here. And on behalf of the organizer team, I just want to say thank you so much, because I think most of our fellow international speakers are calling from overseas, and it's I believe it's quite early in some of the space where they're calling. Jimmy is in Canada right now, so they woke up early for this. The technical team, can you check if someone is the voice is on? Oh. Selena, I think you can mute. Yep. All right. So Robbie, Steve, and Jimmy, finally the wait over. So Robbie, I think you joined after I present about myself. So my name is Chris. Thank you for all 3 of you joining the panel 2. Oh, because I think the technical team, can you unmute the three speaker for panel 2, Robbie, Jimmy, and Steve? Because I think just now we tried to lock. Yeah, I think now they can. All right. So my name is Chris. I'm currently the managing director of Vietnam Startup Investment Fund. But just like you guys, I have been around the blockchain space, and so let's try to bring a lot of exciting, stuff for the audience today. So by the way, guys, for my friends here in Vietnam, Robbie, Jimmy, and Steve, all of them are quite big in names, in the crypto world. So I will let themselves to introduce about themselves, as well as what they are working on, what are their companies all about. So maybe we start with the late joiner, Robbie. Maybe I start with you first.
Sure. Hi, I'm Robbie Jung. I am the CEO of Animoca Brands, and we are a Hong Kong headquartered global blockchain game developer. We're, I think, well known for some of our games like The Sandbox or Formula One Delta Time, Rev Racing, a wide variety of titles. And we are also a very active investor in the sector. So we make a lot of minority investments, strategic investments off our balance sheet. And we have about 100 companies, more than 100 companies now in the portfolio. So we're very active supporters of the open metaverse and the blockchain gaming ecosystem.
Thank you, Robbie. What about you, Steve?
Hi. So I'm founder and CTO of Decentral Games. We're a developer of metaverse games playable with cryptocurrency. We're a decentralized autonomous organization. And we currently have a play-to-earn model where people can come to our casinos within the metaverse and play our games for free and earn an income. And we're one of the first companies in this space.
Thank you. Finally, it's you, Jimmy. What about you?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jimmy Chan, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Ollie Sports. So before I really get into that, I just want to say, boy, am I excited to be here. And really, for TechFest Vietnam, I mean, I've had my eyes set for the APAC region, being the leader in technology transformation for quite a long time. And I've been tracking Vietnam's progress. So I'm just so excited to be here because truly I believe that this country is going to be the spearhead of a lot of the movements, and especially the recent waves in blockchain. I'm just I feel privileged to be a part of that movement. So at face value, Ollie Sport is an NFT horse racing race to earn esport metaverse. But really, if I were to describe that concept, it's like talking about the tip of the iceberg without really acknowledging the iceberg itself, right? And essentially, we haven't launched yet, but we've already secured 3 of the biggest VCs, most active VCs as of September this year, as well as a lot of strong backers. And the reason why people believe in us is that we have 2 fundamental disruption capabilities that's built within our in-game metaverse. The first is that we're designing an in-game crypto economy that is set to revolutionize and to replace the corrupt government regulatory, regulated economic systems, traditional banking, and also to unify the global financial sector as a whole. So really the intention here and the play is that we want to provide a scenario whereby everyone, no matter what their income status is, has an opportunity to participate in wealth creation. And the second opportunity that we're creating is that we're launching as the first metaverse to connect virtual land with real land. Okay, so we're the first metaverse to launch that is going to back our virtual land in the game with real land. So together, these concepts, be it the financial and the real estate, have a potential of disrupting a multi-billion-dollar industry, and that's really kind of what's getting us really excited about this new movement that we are heading towards. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Robbie, you wanna say something? I saw you raise the hand. Unmute. Got it. I think you unmute. Oh, I think you can say now, Robbie.
Hello. Hi.
Oh, yes.
Sorry. Seems like if I mute myself, I get stuck there. Yeah, no, I think I'll echo what Jimmy said. I think it's a very exciting time, and I think one of the things that I find most interesting about blockchain and blockchain gaming particularly is if you look at many of the leading companies in the space, I think what we've seen is that the interesting thing is that they all come from very diverse backgrounds, culturally, geographically, etc. They're not very, very heavily concentrated in Silicon Valley, which was the case during the first web sort of innovation decade of the 90s, and then mobile in the 2010s. Now we see blockchain primarily happening as a global phenomenon. So, obviously the most famous blockchain game in the world, I think, of this year particularly, of course, is Axie Infinity, which is, a local product, right? And I think that just goes to show the decentralized nature of blockchain, and also what the pandemic has forced upon many business models, because so many people are running decentralized teams now as well. I've invested in dozens of companies where the people in working together have never met physically before, and that's not a barrier at all to forming a great business these days. So I think that that's a very exciting part of blockchain, because it's really leveled the playing field to allow anybody to have access to this exciting industry, regardless of where you're from.
I think I completely agree with what Jimmy say, as well as the cream on the top from Robbie as well. So from the from the perspective where you guys are very active in the market at the moment. So where do you see the advantage or any exciting trends coming out from the Asia market in general, as well as Vietnam in terms of metaverse? I think Robbie already mentioned about Axie Infinity, and there's a bunch of gaming DeFi coming out of Vietnam as well. So where do you guys see Asia and then Vietnam as well in the next couple of 1 or 2 year on this space, Metaverse, GameFi, DeFi? Maybe I start with Steve as well. He's waiting.
Okay. I definitely see this market growing in the Asian market, especially with regards to the play to earn model that was pioneered by Axie Infinity. I see a huge market for the developing world in general, for people to come into these games and earn their income within these games. It's a really exciting industry. I think it's going to grow tremendously over the next 5 to 10 years. And I think this decentralized NFT-based token economy will pretty much overtake the gaming industry within the next 10 years or so.
Okay. So, and then back to Robbie and Jimmy, what do you like the most from, I think you have, I think Jimmy, I talked to you, and then I know that Vietnam is one of the key market for you, and then Robbie as well. So when you look at Vietnam, right, what jump out, in your eyes, what sort of, difference Vietnam compare with, project coming from China, Russia, I would say, if you've been here long enough, around 6-7 years, those are some of the market I see top project coming out. Yeah. Maybe Robbie, you start.
Sure. I think one thing that Asian developers, regardless of country, are good at is sort of fast following and innovating based on other people's business models. When they see something like Axie Infinity coming out with something similar, but that makes incremental innovation on it very quickly, I think is an expertise that we have across Asia. And I see this coming out of Vietnam as well. One of the things that we've seen in the Axie community is the rise of the idea of guilds in gaming, and these have taken hold very strongly in the Philippines, particularly for the benefit of Axie Infinity. And I think we're going to see the same thing across Vietnam and Indonesia and Thailand, but more focused on local titles, because I think one of the reasons the Philippines has been so strong is because obviously Axie is an English language game. And so what I'm seeing now is more of the emergence of local content for these local Southeast Asian markets like Vietnam. And so I think we'll also see then the rise of local domestic language guilds as well to support those play to earn game economies.
Absolutely agree with that, because currently we're working with number of regional, more like hubs to actually bring out, these games to reach out to the local community better. And one thing that on top of what you share, Robbie, one thing that I realize, especially in Asia, is that this is all of the country that we mentioned are such an emerging countries. All of them have very young population who pick up digital product very nicely and very quickly as well, much faster than any of the market that you can see. So if you are a potentially to be a very strong games and project, Asian markets have to be on top of the list for sure. And yes. I saw Jimmy kind of smiling on it. So what's your opinion, man?
Yeah, I mean, Chris, let's put it this way, right? Ever since I got involved in studying the APAC regions, and specifically Vietnam based on its economic growth, it's frankly made me realize that, I don't know, like when I compare to Vietnam to, for example, Canada and the majority of where I'm from, it almost makes us look like the second world or the third world country in so many ways. I mean, just to give you a comparison, I live in Toronto, and it's hard for us to get even over like 20 megabytes of internet, and we're paying like the top fees, right? And it's astronomically more expensive than what you would get in Vietnam. And having worked with partners here, we can easily see they're getting, like 300 megabytes per second and just fantastic bandwidth, great infrastructure. Things are governments moving their policies a lot faster than what we have in North America, right? So you have, for example, CZ, who is the founder of Binance, as we all know, who spent the earlier half of his life actually in Niagara, Canada, close to where I'm from. However, in the province itself of Ontario, right, that houses Toronto, Binance is actually banned. And in our product that is built on Binance, right, that Binance supports Ollie Sport, it's quite ridiculous being a Toronto company, a Toronto branded startup that can't even cater to Toronto investors. So really, in terms of my assessment, and to give you a quick background, so in the past, I've had experience working in 5 different continents, right? And the reason why in my earlier professional life is I really wanted to scope out where to really put my attention towards for future economic growth, right? So like I've worked in Canada, Spain, Israel, Chile, Guatemala, China, Vietnam, and really Vietnam has become my last stop, right? And the reason why that is that we've seen internally coming as a blockchain, the strength of the community, right? And really have global communities all over the world, but it's the Vietnam community that is always most research when it comes to crypto and specifically with GameFi. So is with I guess with an educated assumption that I would have to say that Vietnam is positioned
Recording in progress.
In the coming years in this movement. So yeah, again, I'm just so excited to be here, guys. It's quite an honor.
Yep. So Steve, what about you? You know, like from your experience, right, working as a CTO for the project, some of the challenge that, you know, like Vietnam young eco startup, you know, like a system, as well as, you know, like these emerging blockchain project are not, right? What are they should, you know, like look out for, and some of the potential challenge that they should get over, and, you know, like maybe look out for, you know, like external support, maybe from, you know, like international partner, stuff like that. You have any advice from your experience?
I would definitely recommend staying informed on the industry. That's what really helped us at Decentral Games. We were right on top of the emerging trends with the metaverse, with the formation of DAOs, with the creation of the play to earn model. And we got in there early and we started developing fast, and we got our product out fast. So I would definitely recommend staying informed and being insightful on the emerging trends in the industry, and just being a first mover, you know, moving quickly. And with regards to the second part of your question about any help, yeah, I would definitely say in this new global economy, it's very easy to reach out to people in other countries, other cultures, and find help wherever you can throughout the world. Our organization, we're spread out all over the world. We have people in, like, I don't know, maybe 20 different countries, 30 different countries working for us. So it's definitely very global, very easy to expand globally nowadays.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. So going back a little bit on the, because I think a lot of the people are looking at blockchain industry as a whole, crypto as a whole, and GameFi and DeFi project now as one of the most attractive way and most effective way to raise fund for a lot of the good ideas out there, right? So Robbie, what do you think? And, you know, because I think Animoca brands are one of the most respected, you know, like VCs names out there. So when you're looking at projects, right, how do you define and what, share with us a little bit on your flavor, right? I mean, like when you look at the project, what do you like, and what stand out, and what gonna win, you know, your eyes and everything?
I think like every investor will tell you, you know, the team is very important. You know, we like to see teams who are not just enthusiastic, you know, hopefully they have some track record to demonstrate, you know, that they're able to build and to get things done, and to, you know, to adapt and be flexible. I think those are important things when you're a founder. And also I think it's important that they really understand the products, because one of the challenges, particularly for traditional game companies who are moving to blockchain, is that it's a very new mindset. You know, designing games is completely different. Your relationship with customers is completely different. And so it very much requires a complete rethink of how you approach building those kind of products. And this is why I think we've seen a lot of reluctance from some traditional game studios to move to blockchain at this point in time, because they really don't understand it. The model is so different that it actually looks like it doesn't make sense to them, because they're used to doing things for so many years in one particular way. They're used to bringing all their users into one basket and trying to trap them there as long as possible to get as much money from them as they can. And blockchain is just completely the opposite. So I think it's that mindset that is most important, that people really get. It's not just about, oh, I'm going to take a game and then we'll put some NFTs into it. They have to really understand why blockchain, and fundamentally think about what this means to bring these new users on to crypto. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about games, it's about DeFi, it's about all the other things that you can do with blockchain. And games are the gateway to being able to open up all those opportunities.
I agree. For example, I think one of the project that currently I'm co-founding, it's called Farm Central, and it's sort of away from the GameFi, but basically they're looking out to build a metaverse where the traditional entertainment industry can interact better with, like their investor, their community, as well as their fans, like the way that
Yes.
Jim mentioned about his project, right? It's the intercross between, like physical lands as well as digital lands as well. So Farm Central, they try to disrupt the traditional way how these entertainment project doing their fundraising interact with their fans, or even, you can acquiring these, digital merchandise from their, like KOL or celebrities and stuff like that. Even from Vietnam, and I work in Southeast Asia a lot. I think it's amazing how fast we moved from 2 years ago and here. I wouldn't say thank you to COVID-19, but it's really sped up everything. Everyone just don't have time to spend out, and at their drinking place. They spend more of the time on a laptop right now, and I think it just speed up everything. So Jimmy, back to you. GameFi is there, DeFi project is there. On your opinions, right? We zoom out a little bit. Does blockchain have a bigger role in some other industry as well? And from Canada, right? Do you observe there's interesting trends or beyond like GameFi and DeFi in Canada or North America?
Yeah, really great question, Chris. And I think I want to answer that to first preface it to say that, like going back to the COVID conversation, and I'm sure many of the audience can relate, but having experienced COVID, there's the economic impact, but really on a personal level, it's really broken my heart, right? And I've seen between billionaires quadrupling their wealth and small business owners and personal friends of mine that's lost their jobs and really struggle for an income. So really, the reason why I even started OlliSport was to try to mend some of the past corruption and a lot of the evil that's been lifted up through the COVID pandemic, right? Not particularly in the pandemic itself, but what it's shown me. So what I've realized is that, you see, we're really at a precipice of change in the beginning of 2020. And really within the next decade or so, we really need to decide how we want to move forward as a species. And really the continuation of humanity as a whole within the next century, right? Like afterwards, we need to decide that very soon of how, it's a very existential question that we need to ask. And I would attribute that the biggest issue that we have right now, if I were to summarize it all, is that right now the world runs in closed systems. And some of the biggest ones that may come to mind right now, as you might be able to assume, is that we have our government economic policymakers, we have our financial industries, right? The banks, the brick and mortar banks, we have real estate, right? And the owners of it, Bill Gates and just the wealthy few. We have corporate structures, and we have our healthcare system. Those are just some that comes up off the top of my head. But essentially, the problem with all of these industries and why it's really contributed to this mass delusionment and this unveiling during COVID is that it promotes a couple of things that is really anti-humanity, right? It promotes censorship of data, right? So only a select few of people actually know everything that is happening. It promotes asymmetrical power imbalances, right? So we have these systems set up where power and money flows upwards in the org chart, and it takes from the many and it gives to the few. And obviously, given those structures, we have corruption, and we have an overall system that promotes silos, polarity, and conflict. And this is why you have the 99% versus the 1%, the executives versus the unions and employees, and the government versus the people. But really, where blockchain comes about is that it enables open systems. It turns and converts and transforms censorship into transparency, asymmetrical power into equal opportunities, corruption into accountability, and polarized conflicts into a collective global community. And really in our world today, as we enter into all of these laundry lists of existential threats, be it pandemics, climate change, profit maximizing corruptions of all of these industries, we really need to get ourselves together and to organize ourselves as a unified collective. Otherwise, we're pretty much screwed. So to me, blockchain, and thank goodness I kind of discovered and fell in love with this concept, it's really the dream that I'm trying to create with Sport and everything that we do with Metaverse. We want to provide a unifying global context for the world so that we can really work together and solve these issues. And every one of you, the co-founders in the audience and the audience yourself, you have a role to play in this transformative process, right? So we're all just very lucky to be a part of this. And we're one of the first, like we said with the gold mine example, we're the pioneers of this, right? We're the first people to be a part of it. And I'm just so grateful for that.
Man, you should. I think that was one of the most passionate, sharing about blockchain and decentralization I have seen, for a long time. And you need to record that and put it on Coursera, man. So yeah, I kind of lost my change of thought as well. So let's see. Help me guys. What now? Vietnam are trying. I think, go back. I think I tried to continue with that. I think Robbie mentioned a little bit on that, which is, starting with blockchain, and you start seeing the power moving away from Silicon Valley quite significantly. And, there's not a chance, like 7 years ago, we were talking here that, one of the project coming out of Vietnam leading, like the entirely new vertical, like GameFi, and it's called Axie Infinity, right? And by the way, like I was there meeting, Axie's team in Singapore, I think 5 years back, and they start humble, man, together with those CryptoKitties project all the way back then. Remember how we say like, how these game kind of stucking all of the, congestion on Ethereum, and the price was outrageous. And fast moving 5 years later, we still have those problems, but the awareness and the acceptance, from the bigger crowd are much better. So I think, Jimmy, you're right. I think we're moving much faster into the future, and I think we're only seeing the beginning of all of this. So I think I move away a little bit from the investment point of view. So we have been quite on an uptrend, for the entire crypto market. If you have any bold prediction on how the market gonna span out, I would say let's aim for the first milestone in Chinese New Year. And I think 6 months from now, what is your prediction? And this is the question I have for all three of you. Steve, I saw you smiling. You go first. You go first, man.
Play to earn, definitely. And especially within the metaverse. So this talk is particularly about the metaverse. So I think that's going to expand in general, but the play to earn model especially.
Yeah. Cool. Back to you, Robbie. What's Animoca busy now today besides GameFi?
Sure. I think it's learning from play to earn, although I think now we're trying to call it play and earn because we don't want people to just come for earning only. We want them to play also. But I think it extends to other things as well. It extends to categories like learning, for example. So why can't you learn and earn and be incentivized to learn things and educate yourself? So there are many other topics that we can have, that we can learn from the experiences of the successes of Axie Infinity and the play to earn model and see how we can leverage this technology to incentivize people's behavior and to improve themselves.
Sweet. Agree. Jimmy, what about you, man?
Awesome. So I would say that in the short-term scheme of things, and I recognize that there's an uptrend as a general idea for blockchain, but I do think that in the past little while, obviously we've had a bit of hiccups with Bitcoin and just the entire kind of global market crash. So, I like to say, and I tell this to our community and our team specifically, that this is actually a blessing in disguise, because frankly put, being in the metaverse and the GameFi industry, there's a lot of gold, but going back to that analogy, but within just this bucket of coal, right? And what I mean by that is because it's like the Wild Wild West right now, within the crypto game, there's a lot of fraud, there's a lot of scammers, rug pulls, a lot of opportunists that are really in it for the short term and they're not passionate about the project. Now, when you have the market going down 20, 30%, these people now, they're a lot less motivated to do what they do. So I've heard stats saying that within our industry and within the area that we're in, that we have something like 7 out of 10 projects, 9 out of 10 projects pulling out. So I think why this is a blessing is that very much so, this is a test to the worthwhile companies, right? We have mediocre, within recessionary periods, mediocre companies tend to drop out and unicorns are discovered. So that's truly what I think is going to be prominently seen within the next couple of months. The survivors, right? They're going to prove themselves. They're going to show what they got to the community. And because of that, they're going to set the right foundation so that as the economy continues to grow, right, and we go back to the upward trend, they're the ones that's going to experience the best of the exponential growth curve. Now, I would say that moving forward into a little bit later on, but not too much into the future, a couple of things we know, right? One is that COVID's here to stay, right? There's going to be new variants and new economic lockdowns, more people unemployed. So we need to all ask ourselves, right? How can we contribute to a solution whereby all of these people becoming unemployed now, how can we give them a place, right, within a metaverse, perhaps within a GameFi community, to actually earn a living playing video games? I think that's a quite interesting idea to think about and really a worthwhile goal to achieve. And very much so in extension to that, in the future, when AI displaces 90% of jobs, we're talking like within the next decade or so, right? We need to house these people. We need to give them a purpose to, live and to do something worthwhile with their life. So I think those are some challenges that we can see coming in the future and us achieving.
All right, Jimmy, that's also very deep as well. So I think moving to the last, I would say questions, I would like to emphasize again the role of, Vietnam Startup Investment Fund that, of course, because I'm coming from the blockchain industry, right, I will try my best to promote as well as connecting all of these, blockchain projects to the global audience. So all three of you, please help me, to have a better interaction between Vietnam and the global market. And if all three of you have any special resource or support or any intention for Vietnam, you can share with the audience, and hopefully we can collaborate in the future as well, because I think digital initiative are one of the key focus of Vietnam government going forward as well. So any soft commitment or any intention for Vietnam? I start with you, Steve.
Yeah, we're definitely focused on the Asian market, and I would love to make more inroads into the Vietnamese market. It's a little difficult right now because of all the restrictions related to COVID. I can't even get into Vietnam right now. So hopefully things start opening up soon, and we can start making some progress in the Vietnamese market.
Absolutely. Robbie?
I think, we're very excited about Vietnam. I mean, obviously, we continue to see a lot of projects coming from Vietnam. A lot of people are kind enough to send us their pitch decks and stuff. So I think we'll only be making, more investments there. I mean, it's kind of our backyard.
I think right after today, I think you're getting more and more decks on your table.
Good.
Which is good thing, right? Which is good thing.
Please send us your decks.
Okay, we do. And then Jimmy, how about you?
Yeah, so I guess the takeaway that I want to share with the audience is that one of the biggest challenges I see right now in Vietnam is that, we've already mentioned Vietnam is sprawling with talent, with opportunities, and a lot of success cases in GameFi. But nonetheless, it doesn't really exclude the number of, I guess, more of the scam projects, right? And I think one of the biggest challenges for a Vietnam startup starting out with a Vietnamese name is credibility. And truly, I think it's important for Vietnam, as you asked Chris in one of the questions, to really expand beyond just the limiting factor of being Vietnamese and being a Vietnamese company, but partnering up with global entities and partnering up with people in North America. Because although we're a bit slower moving, where the infrastructure is not as well, we do have the credibility behind our name. And I think that's, if we combine that with the force, the hidden dragon of Vietnam, I think there's some great synergies. And really that's what I saw personally, and why I've reached out to a lot of developers and growing a team of employees that is actually based out of Vietnam right now, right? So I think for me, if you want to reach out for hiring for work opportunities, I would love to discuss that, whether that's through community management in our company on the development team, or anything marketing, PR, anything that you have envisioned. So love to hear from you guys. And I guess you guys can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, any of that, and just give me a shout out.
Maybe I should apply for a role at Jimmy's.
Hello, I think we froze there.
Yes, back now.
Is that Chris?
No, I think Chris is still frozen.
Oh, okay, yeah, I thought it was me.
So I think Chris in the window now. He go to Canada, Robbie. So yeah, let me still hit some time. Chris, can you hear me? Are you going to Canada now?
Chris, you froze, man.
Yeah, he wants to go to your place, Jimmy. So Canada is very freezing now. So let me take some time. Are you back? Chris, are you back? Chris, are you back? So does he ask more questions to you guys? He's gonna come back in a second. So okay. I think this is the most fascinating panel, I have been listening, I can't believe that even working in this many years and have to learn every day, but now my eyes bigger, open to learn and learn.
Lena, I'm so sorry I got kicked out because of the connection, but I just have one last question for all three of them. And I think I still have a little bit of time. I'm sorry.
Of course, yes, I just stole your time.
What are the key, successful factor that you guys think about a metaverse project and looking out for those component? Because I think Vietnam people are crazy at talking about metaverse nowadays. So I think I go with Steve again. Metaverse. Key successful factor.
Oh, staying on top of emerging trends. That's what really helped us in the beginning. We started out in Decentraland back in late 2000. 2018, early 2019, back when the land prices were really cheap. Mono was at like 4 cents, 3.5 cents or something like that. Now I think it's up to like $4. But so definitely getting in there early, staying on top of the current trends, you know, finding out what's the next metaverse, what's the next thing, and getting in on it early.
Got it. What about you, Jimmy?
Yeah, no, I actually just wanted to add on to Steve's point. I think it's brilliant. It's very important to see, you know, the pace of this environment goes so fast. And, you know, I'm connected with a number of academics in the blockchain hub in a local university in Toronto. And I mean, the amount of information that we know about GameFi, just the panel here greatly outpaces any PhD, simply because the information hasn't been out for, you know, like it's only been out for like 6 months. You know, or just in constant evolution. So I think just keeping a pulse on the market, and I would nuance the advice to say, you know, obviously it's easy to say no, you know, get in on the latest project and the hottest, but there's always that aversion risk whenever we invest because of these rug pull scenarios. And you know, like I know people personally that has suffered from that, and just truly, I'm sorry if you guys in the audience are one of those victims. So I would say, I would nuance it to say that it is fundamental for any product to look into, I would say 2 main factors. The first is the founding team. And this is like around like IDO and pre-launch, right? You want to look at the founding team, and not only do they tell a good story, but you want to look at their credentials, their credibility. Have they done something in adjacent industries? May not be blockchain, but adjacent, right? For example, you know, like because our project's related to real estate, my background's in virtual reality and real estate marketing, right, in Toronto. So look at that, look at credentials, look at what other people are saying about the founders, right? So again, like I can only draw experience from myself and other people I know around me, but like I have testimonials online, or like, you know, a personal blog I've been keeping on for like for years, right? Beyond just this project. So like look at what ties they've had prior to this specific thing, and that they're not just like a pulled random guy out in the street just to represent and be the face of the project. And I think the last thing, the second thing to nuance it is that, you know, words are cheap, right? People can always talk up the project, but it's all about delivery, right? So beyond what they promise, are they actually, you know, on schedule with their roadmap, and are they actually delivering? And if you can see that trend happening along with the credibility of the team, I think it's a solid project that, you know, the idea that probably comes last, because once you have a strong team and you have credible investors, backers who believe in them, and who's done all the due diligence for the project itself, the idea will fix itself, right? It's an innovative market. We're all pioneers here. We're all entrepreneurs. So I think that's the least of the concern.
So it sounds like, you know, like crypto or not, it's still pretty much on the team. I think I agree on that. Robbie, maybe the last part I leave it to you.
The last one I would say is community, because I think for all the importance that we've seen of community and building games and social networks and things like that, it's even more important in blockchain games. And also the fact that you can, you know, that you can own assets in games also serves as a way to bind community together and reinforce those bonds. But I think if you look at the successful projects, all of them have in common very, very strong communities. And the community comes first, because if you have a good community, you don't even have to have the business model right yet. You can figure it out if the community is there and they support you. And that's the important thing, because it's about having the community first and then being able to offer them a product or a service that they want. And so knowing that community is the key to figuring the product market fit out correctly.
Awesome. Thank you, Robbie. And I think with that, I won't take more time from Selena. I'm going to pass it to her. Thank you again, guys, for staying up late and staying up early from your time zone. Thank you. And pass it back to TechFest host. Yep.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, and all the amazing speaker from panel 2 and of course panel 1 because I was there. So thank you so much. You know, I think next time we're going to book you guys and Chris for the other series of conference. A lot of people are gonna looking for you guys more. So right now in my hand, holding something that's gonna happen soon after this conference. So you guys know, like Metaverse Summit gonna happen soon in Korea, right? And tonight, right here in front of the desktop, not in front of the face of everyone, we're gonna sign MOU for building a program Metaverse Summit in January. We plan in January in Korean. So I would like to invite 6 of representatives from Central. Oh, I'm sorry, before in this, we would like to take a photo together before someone leaves, go somewhere. So please prepare the best place and we have photo together so my team can take the best pictures. Can we?
I think we should remove the background. Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone, are you ready? So the team gonna take the photo together. So we count 1, 2, 3. Are you ready? So they're gonna take about 3 or 5 pictures. All smile. You know, so we're young entrepreneurs, you know, so have to be showing our energy is not something too serious. So we have 3 already. So do we should poll the others? Okay, whatever you want. Okay, thank you. So we come to another section. It's also important. 6 reps, the representative from 6 organizations. First, from National Startup Investment Fund, and second one from Farm Central. The third one from Lucky Ventures. The fourth one, WSAFE myself, and the 5th, Vicocha with Koreans, and the 6th one, Meta one. We signed MOU for building Metaverse Summit 2022, and it happened offline in Korean. And before that, we're building a broad show from here to there. And I hope you guys are gonna join us more and more later. And right now, we starting signing. So please give us some bigger smile and congrats to us for building our partnership tonight. Thank you guys. So we start signing and then we're gonna take a photo together, and please showing your signatures here or even in the front of MOU. It's quite difficult for the visual. Okay, just like this, right? So are you guys ready?
I think you have to put it in front of the camera and right in front of you.
Yes, like this. This look yeah. Okay.
Maybe put a little bit lower so it's don't cover your face, right?
Yes. Okay.
Right, just right below the neck.
So we take
right
photo. Yes. Are you ready? Stick, right?
Okay.
Okay. So team, please take the photo from 6 of us. 1, 2, 3. One more. Another smile.
Don't forget to smile, guys.
Okay, smile again. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All the partners, all the organization, all the speakers, and everyone here, right here and right there and behind the scene, who working night and day, and they don't sleep, you know, like they send me message like 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. and they call me anytime, you know. Sometimes I have to turn off my phone so I can take some time to sleep. So all the team working really hard for it. Even we still doing something very small, but I need to say thank you for everyone hard working on the team for making this happen today. And this only starter of the new game, building something bigger and more value for community, more impact for the country, more impact for the other people, right? I don't know what to say more because even did the online conference, but afterward, we would like to see you guys healthy and happy and success and meeting in the person, shake hand and have drink together or laugh together, and how the COVID gonna gone and we learn something from after the COVID, 2 year COVID. And good luck to seeing you guys in Vietnam, in Korea, and in everywhere, special from Metaverse Summit in Korea. Stay tuned for it, and we're gonna send a lot of email and a lot of information to your email. So please follow up and let us know if you want to join, you want to partner, you want to do something with us for a very close, like next week after this tech fair. Next few days we're gonna build the next program. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for government helping us to connect more. Thank you, Farm Center, bringing amazing speaker and all the team in only a few days. We only landed on few days because we already have 2 big conference with co-organized with Ho Chi Minh Community Tech and Science Department, and now the third one we only took less than 7 days to make this decision to organize this one. So how crazy they get pushed from us, right? So thank you again, Farm Central and Startup National Startup Investment Fund and Happy Venture and Meta One and some the other, Openlive NFT, and all everyone with a big smile here. If someone wants to say, please, like Khoa, would you like to share something a little bit? Okay, you are mute. Okay,
Selena, thank you for Farm Central, Lucky Venture, join with very interesting event, especially it's a very beautiful MC like you, and yeah, and so we can move to the road to summit soon, and we make a very good impact for not only Vietnam and for the metaverse also. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. I think you're amazing. More, you're keynote and you get asked to be a moderator, and you take my stage. So please say something more.
Yes, I think this is supposed to be a Tech Fest conference, and just except last year, I think this is the 4th year that I speak on Tech Fest on different roles. So let's try to not make it only it sounds like a blockchain crypto related conference, but I just want to say that just like some of the observation that we have from the international friends that we have today, Vietnam do really have chance to push and moving forward as a frontier player in a lot of the vertical. And we start here with blockchain, and we start here with metaverse, and I hope that we as Vietnam Startup Investment Funds really have a chance to support all of that, blockchain or not. I will try to keep my neutral support for all of the project coming from Vietnam, and all the project want to go into Vietnam as well. Yeah, we're looking for your podcast. Need to have a big pocket, right? So the fund have to be growing. Let me pick up my phone and I call the government tomorrow. That's good. Okay, that's still there, so they're working. Yeah. So I think Jimmy, when you say something.
No, I was just supporting him. He said that because right now we're looking to open up more of the Vietnam frontier, and we've recognized that some of the strongest blockchain supporters in the GameFi world happens to be based out of Vietnam. So the fact that he's having an active interest in helping companies penetrate Vietnam specifically, I think that's equally important as helping Vietnam get out in the world, because the world needs to see what the country has to offer on both ends.
Wonderful, Jimmy. Thank you. So Steve, you wanna say something, please?
I think Jimmy pretty much summed it up what I feel exactly. I love to see what's going on in Vietnam with the current state of the crypto industry. I think it's setting a good example for the rest of Asia, and I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. Anh Lee, please. Mr. Lee.
Oh, yeah. It was nice to be able to enjoy together tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and please introduce company that who wish to cooperate with Korean startup.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, Korean startup.
We're gonna talk more.
Korean startup and investment company and the government want to create a global unicorn startup.
Yeah.
To joint venture with Vietnam startups. Okay.
Yeah. So after this, our team gonna send one email, all of you here, so you guys can take information of each other.
Okay.
To make the other deal.
Yeah,
behind us, Mike. Okay.
Thank you
so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and hope to see you soon in person, not on the Zoom. Okay, I don't like Zoom much. Just had to, right? So please take care.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Hey, everyone.
And good night from Saigon, from Hanoi. Good night.
Good night.
Everyone.
Recording stopped.